Hey guys, welcome to Red, White, and Moose. I'm so stoked to get this podcast up and running and out for you guys. So an episode hasn't been out for a few months while I've been working on this rebrand, getting everything put together. So for those of you that have been listening for a while, thank you so much. And for the new people, welcome. This is Red, White, and Moose. I am Moose. My name is Mike Burdis. I'm going to be your host for this show. And my nickname's been Moose ever since I was in college. It hit and it stuck, and I loved the Red, White, and Moose. For those that don't know, I'm super pro America first, and this is a big part of why I wanted to kind of do the rebrand too. I want to be able to talk about some politics, some funny stuff, and I've gotten to meet a bunch of people that I've gotten to know that don't have anything to do with the shooting industry, but are killing it and doing some really cool things, and I want to be able to bring them on. We're still going to have a ton of, precision rifle related topics. That is what I do and what I love to do. And so there's still going to be tons of that, but I wanted to be able to bring a little bit more to you guys. So for those that are listening on Spotify, thank you. I'm hoping the audio is good and everything's coming through all right. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, you get to see the new studio. I put a lot of work into this. I love how the display turned out. So, and I encourage you guys to check it out on YouTube, especially as we start bringing on guests and stuff. I think it's going to be really, really fun. So, but for those kind of wondering what the rebrand in it is and everything, so I wanted Red, White, Moose to be a show where people can listen and have a source for good information. I'm a very no bullshit kind of guy. I'm just very blunt. I want to be able to help people through this, and so many of the shows, so many podcasts now or YouTube channels or whatever, I feel like, and not knocking anybody that's doing it, it all makes sense from a business perspective, but I feel like too much of it is bought and paid for, whether it's, a company sends, a product out or something like that, and then you get a YouTuber that has it for 4 or 5 days and tells you it's the greatest thing that they've ever used in their life, and then and they never use it again and they never liked it in the first place. And so that shit kind of drives me nuts. So I wanted to do something a little different, and for those of you that have been listening, it's still going to be me just telling you my experiences and what I think of things. But I was able to partner with companies that I've been using their product for a while. Some of them I've used for a long time. Some of them are a little bit newer, but it allowed me to do, bring in new audio equipment, new video equipment, get this stuff built, new product and some things like that, so that I can continue bringing on, new stuff. But it's something that I feel like people will kind of flip flop, and if they get sent something new or whatever, they're just like, they want to do right by the company that sent it to them, and so they say it's great, but maybe it's not, and so on and so forth. So I partnered with companies whose shit I've already been using, and I love their stuff, and so there you'll kind of get to meet everyone as more and more episodes come out. I'm gonna have all these people come on and some things like that. But so that and for those watching on YouTube, I'm kind of pointing around or listening on Spotify, I'm kind of showing the backdrop and everything. But so I've got Alpha Munitions. They're got this picture of stuff full of their brass. Lone Peak, I've been running their actions for a while. Love them. This one right here is a Lone Peak Fusion Titanium. This one's a Lone Peak Fusion, and I've got some others that are getting some work done right now. Collis. So this is one of the newer companies that I've been working with, but I've absolutely fallen in love. So as you can see, all 3 of these have Collises on them, and I've got a bunch more coming. Foundation stocks. Got this one up here in the Samson, and I got a bunch of others that are getting some stuff done right now. Hawkins Precision. I run Hawkins on literally everything: rings, bottom metal, mount, cantilever. I mean, I love their stuff. West Texas Ordnance. West Texas Ordnance does all of my barrels. I mean, literally all of them. I've got way too many of their barrels. Then Raven Rifles, and it's actually Dan from Raven Rifles that's on this episode. he's doing some cool launches with guns and some awesome Cerakote work. The tripod that the camera's on right now is Cerakoted by him, and that's where all my other stuff is getting done. So once those are all done, you'll be able to see some pretty cool stuff. And then last but not least is Botnia Solutions. I've got it up here on my PRS rig. I've been running their brakes for a while. And so any of y'all that have ever shot with me or been at matches with me know I've run a lot of this stuff, or I run all of this stuff. And so like I said, some of it newer, some of it for quite a while. But I wanted to at least introduce you to the show partners so that y'all know who they are and what's going on. And for those on YouTube, I love how this studio turned out. I think it's awesome. I've got one more spot for rifles over here. These will kind of be changing throughout the episodes. Got all kinds of different stuff. This, it'll kind of be changing. It's kind of a little fun game for me on what all's going to be back here. But everything else is honestly just a little bit of me. I love to shoot. I love to compete. I've been competing in PRS for 4 or 5 years now, and I've been doing NRL for a few years. I love to hunt. You can see some of the taxidermy stuff, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys an introduction of what the show Red, White, and Moose is going to be, who I am, what we're going to be kind of working towards. And I'm super, super excited. And guys, thank y'all so much for watching. And we're going to get rolling into the episode with Dan with Raven Rifles. And I hope you guys love it. Can't wait for some feedback. And guys, please, if you love the show, let me know. And I've got a whole laundry list of guests and topics to cover that are going to be coming on. But if there's some things that y'all would like to see, please let me know. And you can follow me on Instagram. My personal page is the Mike Burdis. The show's page is Red, White, and Moose, and the business page is Phalanx Arms. Go check me out. Follow it. Dan is Raven Rifles on Instagram. And guys, welcome to Red, White, and Moose. Let's get going. Alpha Munitions delivers the brass that top shooters trust. Their proprietary OCD technology represents the first major advancement in brass manufacturing in decades. Engineered to provide unmatched consistency and strength, with OCD brass, shooters experience less plastic deformation under identical loads, resulting in extended brass life, superior pressure retention, and consistency across multiple firings. Alpha Munitions sets the gold standard for precision rifle brass, crafted for those who measure to the thousandth and weigh to the kernel. Guys, I use Alpha Munitions brass in damn near everything I do. I use it for competing, for hunting, in my business. I love it from piece to piece, lot to lot, cartridge to cartridge. It's been fantastic. Guys, go use code MOOSE for 10% off at Phalanx-Arms on Alpha Munitions brass. Botnia Solutions makes unbelievably high-performing muzzle brakes. Their brakes use low ground blast angles for a reduced dust signature, controlled gas exit design for a smooth impulse and stable recoil, and upward-facing ports that apply downward force without introducing disruptive vibrations. I absolutely love my Botnia brakes. I've been running the Maxi and Midi on my PRS and hunting rifles, and couldn't be happier. If you want the most out of recoil control, look no further than the Botnia brakes. Use code Botnia on phalanx-arms.com for 10% off. All right, hey everyone, welcome back to Red, White, Moose, and I'm been looking forward to this one. So I've got Mr. Dan Hereid from Raven Rifles joining me today.
Cheers.
So we've done a few episodes with Dan, going over, picking his brain on, some gun stuff, some hunting stuff, some shooting stuff. But now we get into the meat and potatoes of my favorite topic about you, and it's you. And and as gay as that sounds, Dan and I have become really good friends, and he's put together some really cool stuff. And so this episode is talking about who Dan is, who Raven Rifles is, what they're doing. And the thing that I love about all this is Dan has a different outlook and a different perspective, and almost like a different spot in your mind that you can kind of go to that I just don't have that ability. And there's something creative and unique on not only the guns and some of the stuff that you can figure out, but the above and beyond, and kind of making things that I haven't seen before, and I'm sure a lot of other people haven't seen before. And we'll get into it, but it's something special, and I'm really excited to get to tell you all about it. So
I'm excited to tell everybody too.
So for those that don't know Dan, give us a bird's eye level view of who Dan is.
I'm a 41-year-old dude who likes making stuff in his shop in Waxahachie, Texas.
So Dan's a super accomplished shooter. He's been around precision rifles for a long time. Would you say 2004 is kind of when you got into it?
Yeah, 2004 is when I guess I've always been around hunting and rifles growing up. I think it was, hell, it may have been a little earlier than that, but we're just going to go with 2004 is when I started like purposefully buying gear to shoot longer ranges and a specific gear like optics and things like that geared towards shooting long range.
Okay, so 20 years, very, very accomplished in PRS, NRL, long range precision shooting disciplines. Very accomplished hunter. So for those that aren't into the competition realm, it is crazy competitive. I mean, you know, these matches, most matches are won by a point or two or tiebreakers. The ability to win one match now in today's competition is a feat in and of itself. Being able to do it and string multiple wins together over multiple disciplines over multiple years is not something that a lot of people can do.
Yeah.
And I don't say this to blow smoke up Dan's ass. I'm just trying to let you know this guy knows what he's talking about, is what I'm trying to get at. So you won K&M twice.
Yeah, I won the Gap Grind in 2022. And then so that was a back-to-back deal.
Right.
So the next national match there was the Collis match in 23. And I won that one as well.
So, and then he's won multiple NRL matches in multiple divisions. And now you're building guns. Where did the name come from?
You know this story all too well. So, to those of you listening, my wife and I, we've been together for over 20 years. I'm not going to bullshit anybody here. Anybody that knows this is true. She is my best friend. Happily married is something that gets thrown around a lot. I couldn't ask for a better marriage or a better life or a better partner. And we decided some time back, and it wasn't really a decision. It was more of a discussion like, do you want kids? And I've always put the ball in her court. And I'm not saying it was her decision, but I could have gone either way. She was the same way. And it was more of a, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's great. Mm-hmm. And we both grew up with dogs. And our dogs are our kids. And I'd say, Ash and I, we were together probably 8-9 months. And, I was pretty young. I believe just turned 21 or before 22 and bought a house, asked her to move in with me. Then we got dogs and we settled on Great Danes. And we're very opposite dog owners. She likes couch potatoes, lovey-dovey, calm. I like dogs with a lot of personality. I like them to test boundaries. I like to roughhouse, but they are like, I also like to curl up on the couch and, we have Great Danes. They're not small dogs. So Raven was the name of our first Great Dane we got. We had and to those of you that have dogs, you'll understand this, especially men when they have a connection with an animal like that. It's like she could tell when I had a bad day. So I was like, we were so incredibly just intertwined with each other emotionally, as weird as that sounds.
I know, I get it.
From a man's perspective with an animal. Man, everything I've done in my life revolves around the name Raven. The property I own is named Raven Ranch. I have a heifer out back in the pasture that I did not name. And I got a phone call. Hey, do you want another longhorn heifer? And as soon as the person who called me, it said, and by the way, her legal name's Raven. I didn't care what she looked like. I didn't care what she cost. Yes, she belongs to me now. So Raven Rifles was only fitting. But that's, man, it's not, to those people who are dog people and understand that connection, it'll make a lot of sense. But that name means, those 5 letters mean a lot.
Yeah.
So,
well, and it's, my wife and I have become very good friends with Dan and Ashley, and we both families are very similar. Me and my wife, we don't have kids. We've got Great Danes, and mine and your personalities are very similar, and
Yep.
Tatum's and Ashley's are very similar. You know, I think it's interesting. You know, you talked about the the personal connection between, you know, so for those that don't know, so we have two Great Danes. Our youngest Rex started having seizures
Yeah.
about 6 months ago, and his second one was really bad. And long story short, he was coming out of it and attacked me. He didn't know what was going on, but I've got scars down this side of my face now. It was really hard.
No, I remember.
Yeah, and Dan helped me get through it. And Rex had another one last week, and it got me. The man, they're just the love and care that we can have for these pets, and that I know they have for us.
Yeah.
It's just, I love them.
Yeah.
And I just you get it. I can't even put it into words.
Well, and it's crazy too, because, you know, a lot of the people that probably listen to this, most obviously are gun people, but a lot of them are probably outdoorsmen too.
Yep.
And
Foundation Hunting Stocks has combined 3 unique materials, micarta, carbon fiber, and Kevlar, to create their new hybrid line of stocks. This combines the stiffness and lightness of carbon fiber with the impact resistance, toughness, and vibration dampening of the Kevlar. The micarta bedding block allows them to machine the precise inlets and seating surfaces that they're known for. Guys, I've been using Foundation stocks for years, and I love that dead recoil impulse that they have. And now being able to bring that same dead feeling into a hunting stock that's light enough to hunt the backcountry is pretty remarkable. Guys, go to Phalanx-Arms and use the code HYBRID for 10% off Foundation stocks. Hawkins Precision provides precision hunting rifle components built to help you go further and shoot farther. From rock-solid optics mounting solutions born out of the Rocky Mountains of Colorado to their hunter bottom metal and flush magazine systems, Hawkins has a solution for your next hunting rifle build. When every shot counts, hunt with Hawkins. Guys, I've been running with Hawkins on all my rifles for a long time, from their one-piece mounts to their heavy tack rings to their ultralight rings, their bottom metals, their hunter bottom metals, and everything's been great. Next time you're getting a new rifle put together, go with Hawkins.
I have a similar connection with animals in the outdoors and that experience, and even harvesting animals and understanding what that means from an emotional level. There's something that I have that I include with my rifles that I'm not going to get away. Got to buy a gun for that. But the whole rifle thing is an expressive thing. Excuse me, for me. I'll get into the background a little bit about, I'm a creative person. Those who know me know what I do every day, day in, day out, have done for years. I build boutique custom homes. That's what I do Monday through Friday. And it's fulfilling because I've never built the same house twice. 95% of the homes I've built have come from design input, and mostly I had a big hand in creating the construction drawings and making someone's dreams a reality, put them on paper, and then erect them into the air where they can raise a family under that roof. I have a huge creative side. Mm-hmm. And that's what led me down the path. You know, my background in automotive stuff too. When my wife and we got engaged, it was my wife's 25th birthday. Her father had a 32 Ford pickup truck that, he went from one career into the high-end auto refinishing for hot rods, street rods, high-end stuff, not collision shop stuff. And he found this thing, I don't remember where, but it was in a barn. It's been a long time ago. And it was kind of a rat rod. And he had some health stuff going on. And he decided to give it to Ashley, sign it over. And he had one rule, because he knew kind of how I was. I had race cars and show cars, and I was always tinkering. That came at a very young age with me and my dad. I mean, hell, you know the story. My dad's retired. I built him a house here out. And he doesn't do anything during the day other than play with his 64 Pontiac Grand Prix. And I've helped a little bit. We just sprayed some paint on it the other day, got half of it painted. And, I was in his living room tonight, and he's, got an engine block sitting in the living room doing typical dude stuff, which is pretty cool. He's got cylinder heads and shit laying all over the house. It's pretty cool. Which is crazy because it's actually a really nice place I built him in. It's just like really nice restored parts. like placed and organized all around the house. It's cool. But that's what was my creative outlet for a long time, was automobiles. And I don't want to say it's not fulfilling. It is. It takes a long time. And when you spend that much time, like her 32 Ford, we've won some pretty big awards.
Mhm.
We won a big trophy at Good Guys, which is a massive, for you car guys, if you know Good Guys, it's a big, big ass show. Super fulfilling. And I'll get into that story too with her father. But I spent about 4,000 hours restoring that thing. And with the help of another man in my life who taught me a lot, and a guy by the name of George, he lives out in Rockwell. He's been around me my entire life, and close friends with my dad. And I learned a lot about fabrication from him. TIG welding, building headers, building radiators, all the shit that is now instilled in that truck.
Mhm.
And so I did that. The whole goal of building that truck and what I spent all that time for was to drive away from our wedding in it. We had severe thunderstorms the night of our wedding, and I wanted for nothing more than to pick up my wife, stick her in the front seat. Mind you, my wife's 5 foot tall, and this thing is chopped and channeled and built to fit her. So to fit both of us in it and me to actually successfully drive it is a feat, but we were going to fight through it and do it. And poured ass rain, and we both made the decision that thing doesn't belong near water. It just doesn't. I mean, it's to give you kind of for you car guys, it is a shortened bed, up channeled. It's an LS variant in it, makes a lot of horsepower. It's on 18 wide, 31 inch tall Mickeys in the back. So steamrollers, and then 4.5 inch wide skinnies up front. Not something that belongs on wet pavement. That's how you die. And the wheelbase is shorter than a Fox body Mustang. So it'll do a U-turn when you don't want it to, right? Just by hitting the vertical pedal to the right. So creative outlet number one was automotive. Got into building homes, and we don't do much with the car thing anymore. We still love it. We still own it. A lot of that is for another reason. So Ashley has a sister. She doesn't have any brothers. And Ashley's dad, Jerry, he's going to be very selective about who his daughters are going to date, right? So it's kind of a long story, but getting into the weeds here. The first night I met her father.
By the way, that's good. You're totally fine. So keep rolling.
The first time I met her father, we were going to the racetrack. I had a 99 Camaro with nitrous and roll cage and harnesses, and it was a nasty, nasty street car. And he was like, cool, have her home by 11. Yes, sir, not a problem. I call him, it's probably 10:45. We're an hour and 20 minutes out. And I was like, Jerry, I got bad news. She's not going to make it home by 11. And by the way, buddy, would you mind coming out to the drag strip with your trailer? I need a way to get my car home. Because I had spit some parts out of the back of it that were pretty vital to it running and drove over them on the racetrack. I mean, spit shit everywhere. But it's kind of funny because ever since that night, I was like the son he never had. And it still stings what happened. We lost him in 2018. And I owe that man a whole hell of a lot. Between him and my father, they're the ones who made me a man. So yeah, the whole automotive thing, I've got for guys that are in their mid 30s to mid 40s that are car guys and like trucks, you guys know what a square body C10 is. I've got a short bed sitting on the garage, 43,000 original miles, bought it from a one owner. It's laser straight, never had paint work. There's not a speck of rust. And I mean, when I pulled the carpet up, the paint's glossy underneath. Like it is a primo truck. I have built engine that's done, transmission's done, rear end's done. It's all ride tech. There's some tube chassis work on it. It's built to be the whole goal was it's going to be a driver. Yeah, it's a 6-figure driver when it's done because I went a little too deep into it over the years. And when I got to the point, because the way I build a car is build it all the way out completely. Don't plumb it, don't wire it, get all your bulkheads in, and then you blow it all apart, you paint it, you assemble it, and then all you have to do is, once you put the big parts back in, plumb it, wire it, you're rolling, right? A lot of guys will do paint and body work pretty quick, and then you beat the shit out of it trying to build the truck. We're not doing that. And when I got to the point of paint and body, that's where the brakes hit. And the reality is, the reason that is it's a mental block I haven't cracked yet. I've been fighting with it since, I don't know, 5 years. It was the first car that I was going to do, not by myself, but the paint side by myself. He was always my partner in crime when it came to that. You know, the first square body I built, we painted it together. The 32 Ford, he didn't know I was doing that truck. He had no idea the kind of money and the build that I was doing on it. He had no idea that was going to be a trailer queen, that was going to be a holy shit moment when you drive it into one of the biggest automotive shows in the world and people turn heads. He had no idea I was doing that. So it was a surprise right before our wedding when I was like, hey, need your help with something. We show up on a trailer with all these parts and he's like, holy shit. So I'll get back to a fulfilling moment with that in a second. It revolves around good guys. But when I got to the paint and body work on the C10, you've seen it. It's sitting in the shop, taking up space that I vitally need because I have machines that I have no home for right now. But yeah, it's sitting over there collecting dust. And one of these days I'll get to it. A lot of the parts that are on it, there's a lot of companies that stepped up. I've got 3-piece wheels sitting out there that are one-offs with custom center cuffs with the logo I designed that pay homage to him. He was a Vietnam vet, by the way, Marine. So cool logo. It's a skull wearing a Vietnam era helmet. It's pretty badass. I'll get there eventually, but it's just it's a bridge I haven't, you know, I'm being a little vulnerable here. I haven't mentally nor emotionally been able to cross.
Yeah.
I'll get there eventually though. And so step back to the show car stuff. There's been some pretty fulfilling moments in my life. Marrying my wife is number one. A very close second, and I mean, if you put it in a bar graph, you couldn't see that they're not equal. They look equal. Was that man's goal was to always build a car that he won something big with. And he had trucks and stuff that had gone to good guys, but he had never been able to drive something he built across the stage. So Good Guys is a big spectacle to you guys who don't know the car show stuff. You actually drive for awards. You drive across and they announce it. And it's almost like a red carpet experience with automobiles. I'm not the one who drove that truck there though. My wife is the one. And he was in his, I don't remember what you call him. I think it's called a Rascal. Motorized little cart thing. So seeing the look on that man's face to see his daughter drive that truck to accept that award was, like I said, it's so incredibly close to the day that I married my wife. It's not even funny as far as fulfillment. So that's in a nutshell. That's where the creative gears really got going with me at an early age, was cars.
Yeah.
It's just natural that it segued into homes. Cars are always an emotional thing for me. You spend a whole lot of energy, time, blood, sweat, and tears, and then you finish and it's like a kid. For me, I don't like driving them. I like keeping them clean and in the garage, which don't come over to my house and look at the 32 Ford right now. It's been neglected a little bit. Needs the dust knocked off of it. So I went into the houses, still do that. Still very fulfilling, still very fun, very hard to do now since COVID. COVID has kicked our ass, and post-COVID has kicked our ass. There's still very good labor out there. Materials are iffy. You really got to be selective on stuff, but that's kind of where my, attention to detail, and I'm very, very, very picky about walking through a house. And I mean, my framers hate it, but I carry a pretty expensive badass level in the truck, and I put it on every piece of wood in the house. But they're paid well, so
right.
And I'm a big respect person too. Those guys know I respect them, but they also know that there's expectations to do it right and do it once. So the gun stuff, it's always been a big part of my life. I started hunting with my uncle at a young age. By the way, guys, for you guys that don't, and I'm probably going to catch some shit for this, I'm not a waterfowl hunter. I don't like waterfowl hunting. That's what I started hunting as a young kid. And being the decoy boy and filling up your waders full of frozen water sucks ass. Getting frozen in a pond sucks ass. Using your shotgun because you forgot the paddle in the John boat to go get the decoys sucks ass. But no, I mean, I don't waterfowl hunt anymore. I understand why people do. I think it's cool to watch video of, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But the outdoors thing and the connection to animals has always been big with me too. And as I started, like I've been playing with these things forever. I still remember my first conversation with Tate Streeter. I was calling him and he goes, "What are you using these action force for? Hunting guns?" What? Yeah. This is right when he started Impact. He probably doesn't remember the conversation, but I surely do. Because it was cool to actually talk to the guy on the phone. I was kind of, I was a little enamored with that conversation because I knew who Tate was. That's the other thing with me about competitive shooting. I was a chicken shit when it came to that. I built a gun every year for PRS since like 2015 or 16 till 2021. I built a gun and I'm like, I'm going to go do it. And then I'd chicken out because I didn't know anybody. And I'm like, I'm just not going to show up and be a dumbass out there. I knew how to shoot. We'll get into that in a second on what happened my first match. Corey Vogus, if you're listening to this,
He is.
I don't drop my magazines anymore, but no. So I got into the gun thing, and I realized that, and this is no knock on anybody, but a lot of guys who are building rifles, it's a lot of the same stuff. There's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of the same stuff because the stuff's proven and it fucking works.
Right.
So there's some stuff I have up my sleeve. I'm not going to get into the weeds of that. That'll be up and coming soon. There's some, Mike's seen a little bit of it this weekend on some of the stuff that I've got up my sleeve. But there's going to be some really cool shit that people haven't seen before coming out of my place.
Yeah.
But it's a creative outlet for me, man, and I wanted to share that with people, and that's ultimately why I started Raven Rifles. I have a passion for shooting. I have a passion for hunting. I always have, and I want other people to have some of that artwork, have some of that, have a little piece of my brain, of my mind, and share that with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I couldn't have gotten a better answer out of you if I tried. So thank you for
Sorry.
No.
Long-winded, talk too damn much.
No, it was perfect. Cause it peels those layers back of like where this thought process and the creativity comes from, like taking that, winning a show of that caliber.
Oh.
And being able to take that work and level of detail and creativity and put it into something like this is not something that a lot of people can do or envision. And that's where I think it's really cool. And doing these limited edition drops that you're doing it's so cool. It's so unique and it's so different. And it's not just, so for those watching on YouTube, it's this one right behind me, and the camera doesn't do it justice how it's sitting right now. And we'll get into the breakdown of what this first drop is, but Raven Rifles doing these, they're kind of break down so you kind of give us a breakdown of who you are. Tell us what Raven Rifles is doing and kind of the route you're wanting to move to.
Okay, so,
and don't give away secrets, but just,
Lone Peak Arms provides precision rifle shooters with extreme accuracy through their actions. Whether you're building a hunting or competition rifle, their fusion or razor actions are the perfect foundation. Both actions are available in short or long, left or right configurations, and in stainless or titanium. Guys, I've beat the crap out of my Lone Peak actions in sandy, muddy, freezing conditions, and they're stainless and titanium, and they've just kept on ticking. Your next rifle you get going, use a Lone Peak, and they're available at westtexasordnance.com. Raven Rifles produces artwork that shoots. Their custom lurk Cerakote pattern provides depth and color that most patterns just dream of. From Snow Wolf to Copperhead, you'll be able to blend in wherever you end up. And their limited release rifles truly are a functional work of art. They're available in limited numbers and guaranteed to catch your eyes. I absolutely love the lurk pattern. I've had it on my Really Right Stuff tripod for a while and getting most of my rifles redone in it right now. If you want to see more, go to ravenrifles.com. The West Texas Ordnance Switch Lug is a patented quick change barrel system that allows caliber and capability changes in minutes without the need of a barrel vise or an action wrench. It allows for precise, repeatable return to zero within plus or minus half MOA. It allows the use of one rifle platform with multiple barrels to perform a variety of tasks. And it can be used on short or long actions and standard or magnum cartridges. Guys, I've got switch lugs on most of my rifles, and it just makes switching barrels incredibly easy. One of my favorite things being able to do with it is being able to have a rifle and be able to switch from something, say like a 22 Creed to a 6.5 PRC in the field with just a barrel and bolt swap and no barrel vise needed. Guys, check out West Texas Ordnance and their switch lug system.
Yeah. So again, it's a creative outlet for me. I enjoy doing it. And first and foremost, this podcast about me being on here is not to sell anybody anything. That's not what I'm in the business for. I first and foremost, I'm in the business for the relationship.
Yep.
I value that more than the dollar bill. My customers are people that, okay, perfect example. The first gun I produced with the Raven Rifles name on it, I drove to that customer and hand delivered it. And I'm going to do that as much as I can because I find value in it, not from their side. I found value in it from my side of me seeing their reaction when they see their gun. It's fulfillment, right? He was texting me pictures tonight. He's out doing something else. He's also a car guy. And he's like, hey, dude, quit slacking.
Yeah.
Get out here with me. It's that relationship that's important, right? I've always been taught by much smarter people than I am that it's not what you know, it's definitely who you know. And your network is your net worth. And I don't mean that from the dollar bill perspective. I mean, look, man, when you have $100 billion and you die, what's it worth? My name's worth something, right? It's the only thing you leave behind. The only thing you truly own in life is time and your name, right? So I'm going to invest my time into being creative, but I want the relationships. I want the referrals. I just want to build cool shit for cool people, for people to enjoy. That's what Raven Rifles is. Now, what's sitting behind Mike here, I'll kind of get into the weeds of what it is.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, please.
relationships. So we're going to talk about relationships. The guys at Manners, it's a funny deal, but years and years ago, I've been buying Manor stocks for a long time, guys. I'm not even going to tell you how many I bought because my wife is probably going to listen to this. She has an indication, but she would probably not be happy with me if she knew the real number. But I got to meet Tom Manners and build a relationship with him. Awesome man. The other guys that are there, Matt up there, rock star dude. I mean, Brian Sykes, super cool dude. Just great guys.
Yeah,
great guys out of that KC area. And I've built a relationship with everybody. And hell, I talked to Matt the other day. He's got some construction stuff he had questions on, and we had a good conversation. Not about anything gun related, not about anything Raven Rifles related or Manners related. Though that's what I've done with all the components that are sitting here. These are all people that I have relationships with, that I value what they build. They build top quality good stuff, and I want to further their business while building mine. We're growing all together. So it's a Manners LRH stock. This is inlet for, and it's my gun near action, and it's built for us by everyone over there at Impact Precision. It's a medium Magnum Wolf Face 7 PRC. It's a light Magnum contour, cut rifled barrel, spiral fluted. It's got the new Hawkins Hunter bottom metal and magazine, the new 3.5 inch, which is, it's pretty wicked. I like it.
Yeah,
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I'm glad to be one of the first to be putting rifles out on them.
And to not to cut you off, but for those that haven't seen it, the new medium setups. So it's a medium action, medium bottom metal, and you can run a 7 PRC and 300 Win Mag, correct?
300 Win Mag
out of a medium, and so you save a little bit of weight, save a little bit of bolt throw. It's a pretty freaking cool setup.
Yeah, and I'm like shooting wise, because I've done so much competition and shot so many rounds. I'm a face on the gun guy, which you should be. And I'm not a long action guy because it just so happens how I set my personal guns up. I don't like the bolt smacking me in the schnoz. I'm just not a fan of that. Truth be told, I don't even own a long action. Nothing against long actions. I will own some of them, but if I can fit it in a medium, I'm going to. So that was a big deal for me. 7 PRC, just because it's a 7 PRC. Commercial ammos everywhere. It's a really good cartridge for killing so that gun is specifically built for, it's for the North American hunter. It's for guys that want to go out and shoot elk. They want to shoot mule deer. They want to run up to Alaska. They want to shoot caribou. They want to shoot black bear. They want to do all that stuff. 7 PRC, you can do it. You can do whitetail with it. You can do coos deer. You can do all that stuff with it with one cartridge. That rifle, it actually is wearing, another relationship thing. Zero Compromise, Swarovski, Collis, all those companies I thoroughly enjoy doing business with. I've bought optics from all of them. Love everybody involved with those companies. Great dudes to support. Great folks. And that one's got a new Z8i Plus 540 on it, which is pretty interesting. And then the rifle behind me here, it's got a 328i on it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's got a long ARCA rail on it. I'm a big ARCA guy, and most people who are into the custom gun stuff allows you all that adjustability with your bipod and your tripod. And yeah, man, that's it in a nutshell. It's a pretty light gun too. 7.5 pounds unscoped.
Yep. So one point I want to hit on that you hit on multiple times, and I've said it in other episodes, and I'll say it 100 times as y'all watch more and more episodes. The relationships and building their business alongside yours, creating value for them and yourself and your customer. It's when you get one of these in your hand and you run it, you can feel and sense the passion that all these companies put into their products. And being able to cultivate those relationships and help everyone, it shows in what you're putting out. But I did the same thing with the show, bringing, Raven Rifles as a sponsor of the show. Yep. It's the same concept. It's these companies. It's awesome. The companies are amazing. The products are great. The people are great. And the relationships that I have with them and that you have with them, and it's created something pretty unique, and it's awesome. But I am gonna call you on something that is not that's it. So yes, you get the rifle.
Yeah.
Also comes in a custom SKB case, cut
Yeah.
for the rifle, cleaning rod, kestrel, binos, mag, suppressor. Comes with a Fix-It Sticks toolkit.
Yeah, it's ours. So it's a Fix-It Stick kit that I designed. So just so you know, it doesn't come with optics, guys, but if you want optics, I can facilitate that. And I do something a little special with the optics, and we can get into that if you are interested in one. But the Fix-It Stick kit is my own SKU through them. It includes some additional tools that you can add on to another kit, but it's all purpose built around this rifle. You need to take down the bolt, firing pin, stuff like that. You need to do maintenance there. The tool's there to take the bolt apart. The correct torque limiters are in there. So we've got, and I do a lot of stuff with Hawkins. Those are the rings of my choice. So they also include extended bits in the back. A lot of people that will get a Fix-It Stick kit with bottom metals on the trigger guard on that rear screw. If you're using the short bit and you're using the fat 65 inch-pounds limiter, it's tough to get it in there. So we went to the extended bits for that, also for the Torx bit for the scope ring, so you can clear the level on them. So you're not fighting with that. So it comes with that full Fix-It Sticks kit. It also comes with a custom Delrin bore guide made to my spec, a little longer, does have a solvent port in it. So you're not fighting with the scope to try to, get all that stuff crammed in that bore guide. On board with BoreTech, great company. Comes with a cleaning rod, patches, jag. Yeah, man, it's a full system. And the reason I didn't do optics is because some guys shoot MOA, some guys shoot mil, some guys want first focal plane, some guys want second focal plane. I'm not going to option all that out. More than happy to provide it and facilitate that. Easily done. But yeah, it's a full kit and caboodle, and they're beautiful. And this stuff, when I talk about fitment,
you forgot the coolest part of the whole freaking package. The ammo that it comes with.
Yeah. I'm not done. That's the icing on the cake. So let's talk about fitment for a second. So guys, I've done some house design stuff, so I do have some software at my fingertips. When I say this rifle in this case fits tight, is everything is made to fit like a glove. And the main reason that is I've traveled around the world and hunted. Airline employees and airport employees, TSA, are not friendly on shit. I'm confident that I'm not going to say no one can break the case, because I don't want anybody to try to come on here and be like, hey,
I swear to God, the TSA employees that are loading,
they can break diamonds.
Yeah, they're the A+ UPS employees that got promoted to
TSA into baggage handling. Yeah, exactly. But it's built for a reason that way, and I'm ultra critical of things, and I'm devil's in the details with me. And the devils are in the details on the ammunition side too. That's kind of one of those deals. That's why I reached out to Mike, and with everything I was doing, and I wanted someone I could trust. And here's the deal, Mike, you know how critical I am.
Yeah.
The last trip to Africa, I didn't load my ammo. And that's not something that I like. If people know me, the people who know me that are listening, that actually know me, know that that's a big deal. That's a really big deal, because I've never let anybody load my ammo but me.
Right.
And I've got a shipment of a pile of stuff coming in here soon, and we've killed a lot of stuff with it. It shot phenomenally well, but partnered with Phalanx Arms, providing 50 rounds of ammo from them. Yeah, man, these things are freaking awesome. And the testing I go through too, this isn't like a test fire in a bullet trap or shoot a couple rounds at a piece of paper. I mean, the last guy that got a gun from me, he was a local guy. We met at the range. We set it all up, and he wanted a scope with his. We put a 328i on it, and ended up taking him all the way up 1,275 yards. And this is actually a guy I trained not long ago, and man, impressed with the way he's done behind a gun. And so it was interesting. A couple days before he picked up the gun, I sent him a test group, and what I like to do is video shooting at distance. A group on a piece of paper is great, and I can provide that, not a big deal, but I'd rather shoot half-minute or sub-half-minute groups at 800 or 900 yards. And that's exactly what we did. We shot a 4-round group that...
yeah, you need to send me that video. I'll put it in here. Yeah. It's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, they shoot it. Look, man, you know me, and you guys will just follow me long enough, and you'll get to know me too, that I'm not going to put something out the door that I won't take to a match, that I wouldn't happily shoot myself. And I'm pretty damn critical of things. I mean, I'm the guy that we'll get frustrated and just put a new barrel on something because I'm not going to chase things.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it. But yeah, that's the Gungnir, and I'll get into the name too. So I have a German and Norwegian background in my family, and it's only fitting. So Raven, right? Well, there's two famous ravens, Hunan and Munin. They were Odin's ravens. We're getting into Norse mythology here, and Odin, god of war, god of all gods. He had a weapon, and you guys can look up the definition of Gungnir. It's Gungnir, and basically it is his spear, and it never misses its mark, and it's just fitting because I knew of some of that, but it came to me one night when I was looking up some of the mythology stuff that I've looked up from time to time, and it just, that name popped out, and it fits like a glove. And the interesting thing is Raven Rifles was named for a while.
Yeah.
And but that's the name of it, and as long as you do your part, it's not going to miss its mark.
I love it. When you told me that story, I was like, oh my God, it's perfect.
Yeah.
But so that's the 7 PRC Gungnir's out.
Yep.
When they're gone, they're gone.
Yep.
But
there's 13 of them, by the way, and there's 13 serial numbers. One's sitting right here. No, it's not for sale. Serial number 1's mine. I think there's, after the show this weekend we just finished up, I think there's 8 available now.
Yeah.
There's 8 left. So, and I haven't made a big push publicly. And guys, if you happen to want one, reach out to me. I was going to do, and I still may do it as time goes on, but I've got a slew of different colors, and I'm a pretty creative guy. And if you want something custom done on it in Cerakote and stuff like that, and I've got this as another color pattern behind me. I've done this with exposed carbon. I've done it where it's a full fade pattern from front to back, where it relieves into just pure carbon in the back. We can get creative with it if there's something special you want. I have no problem doing any of that stuff. That actually, I prefer to do stuff like that. I want it to be a one of one for people.
Yeah, and I wanted to get in it. So the Cerakote work and the pattern that's on the guns and on the tripods, it's called Lurk, trademark Lurk pattern. And there, what, eight colorways as of right now?
There's more than that, but it's
maybe like 8 official.
Yeah. The thing with that is I'm toying with, and we've talked about this too. When I did all the patterns, it was because I was trying to find an effective camouflage. And this is years in the making, guys. I've been spraying Cerakote for years. I've just been doing it for myself and for my buddies.
Right.
But I spray Cerakote for several other companies now too. Some of them are pretty large companies, and they've always been a solid background color. So there's a base layer that goes on, and then you start, building your depth and your contrast from that base layer. Well, when the base layer is carbon fiber, it's sure hard to cover it up. Carbon fiber's cool. You want it to be seen. So I've been working with changing some colorways to make that carbon fiber your base layer that changes your depth, that changes how things react. So I've got a lot of them down. And that's where the fade stuff came from too. Like, hey, how can we do the pattern with the exposed carbon and then bleed it into full carbon? So yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, no, I just, the Lurk pattern is just, it's so cool. It's so unique. And there's the color and depth that you get out of it is really unique. I'm excited. So as y'all, especially for those of y'all watching on YouTube, I've got a bunch of rifles coming together right now, and I'll have most of his colorways done over the next few months as parts continue to come in.
Mm-hmm. We get some pretty cool stuff up our sleeve that I'm going to do for your stuff too. Some of it you don't even know
yet. So yeah, so let's see. The Lone Peak actions are in. My foundation was supposed to show up today, but
hey, blame UPS, man. That's not on me.
The guy went to TSA and didn't deliver my shit.
Probably so. Let's see if UPS can successfully break a foundation hybrid.
Yeah.
Surely not.
Yeah,
they're strong.
Two foundation hybrids coming in. The Hawkins stuff is all in. One of the Coloscopes is in. The other one will be here soon.
I don't know. You brought me a pile of stuff in there, and I'm like, "We're going to DSC. I'll look at that stuff later."
Anyways, but yeah, there's new project guns that'll be up on the show and on Instagram and stuff here pretty quick. But that's the point I was trying to get across: is nothing about you is normal.
Tell me something I don't know.
And so it doesn't surprise me that what you put out isn't normal either.
Yeah.
And so it's cool. It's a cool system.
Yeah. Well, as they say, hold my beer. There's cool stuff coming.
Well, and I wanted to talk, because you've done some pretty cool trips and got to see some stuff and meet some people. The Europe trip that you got to do, can you kind of?
Yeah, well, I've done 2 Europe trips, and I can talk about both of those. We did the IPRF 22 World Championships with Peyton Grimes, which was, man, the Grimes family, some of my favorite people. Really close with them.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Peyton,
P-Doodle 10 long range, I believe, on Instagram.
On Instagram, you put her down there in the description.
Yeah, 2-time world champ.
She's a rock star.
This chick is a badass and awesome person to boot.
Well, and that's the thing too. She's like, she's insanely humble.
Yeah,
and very lovable personality. I mean, head screwed on, just straight, and just she's killer student. She's just a good all around kid. Had a blast with her. So it was an interesting deal. It was P, her mother, my wife, and me in Italy. So of course, going into this, I'm like, oh, great, I got to manage 3 women in Italy. Actually, we had a hell of a good time. P shot her absolute ass off, finishing 3rd overall. And the interesting thing about that is, and we all say this, you could have done this, you could have done that.
Right.
I don't know if she'll admit it, but I watched it unfold, and everybody that watched it too, she didn't have it turned on for the first couple stages either, which I'm telling you, she's at A&M right now. She's in college, deep into it. And, like I said, killer student, her grades come first, and that doesn't, she's motivated on that part of it, but she gets back in the thick of shooting. Y'all watch out. I've seen her. Yeah. I've seen her when the button's on, and it's like, good God, man. She's just, the talent. She's just overflowing with talent.
Yeah.
So we got to do that trip. That was a lot of fun to see Italy. Not so much fun bringing guns in and out of Italy. That's an experience. I don't want to do that again in Italy. I do it in other European countries just because I don't know what it's like yet. But if it's like Italy, I'd prefer not to. Language barrier stuff mostly, and just trying to misunderstand. There's misunderstandings and stuff like that because of mannerisms as well in languages.
Right.
And voice inflection, things like that. But all in all, solid trip. Had a blast. The girl kicked ass, did great. And then Austria. So that was a busy year. That was last year. Went halfway around the world for a good amount of time, doing a trip with some clients. And then we had some friends come in for the second leg of the Africa trip. And then I went to Austria. And I'm not going to get too much into the weeds on that deal, but I was over there with the company doing some product testing and some field testing, some on-fur testing, which was awesome. And other than I got stuck with the heaviest. So I'm with a group of guys. I'm not going to say who they were because it doesn't really matter, but we had a certain series of guns. They're all hunting guns except one. One is a PRS kind of gun. It's comp rifle, heavy. The Austrian Alps aren't like hunting in Texas, man. So they're all like, what gun's everybody going to take? And they look at me, and I look like I might be in shape. I'm working on that currently, but at the time I wasn't. Dude, lugging that heavy boat anchor, because some of the stuff we were climbing on, I say climbing, we weren't climbing, we were walking sideways in a zigzag pattern to get up a very steep hill. You could see the stand up the hill, and it's like, okay, that's like 180 yards. Like 2.5 hours later, we get there. It was brutal, but had a blast. Absolutely amazing country, amazing culture, amazing.
Austria is awesome. I want to go back so bad.
Yeah, Austria it was just out of this world. And the other thing too that, and for us in the U.S., when you go to some of these remote parts of Europe, and really any of these other countries, but there's a lot that the U.S. has let slip in the way that our culture is, unfortunately. Like respect is real big over there. The way that you interact with people in a restaurant and the way you're treated as a patron, as a customer, is just very different. There's a lot of respect's a big thing over there, and being polite, and just it was very refreshing, but at the same time made me kind of feel bad. It made me kind of feel like I need to do better and do my part over here, and just operate with a lot more grace. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think that's something, having some conversations with some people. Society, societal norms have definitely, changed over the last 10, 15 years. And like I said, I think it's coming back. But something that I want people to kind of keep in the back of your mind is whether, regardless of who you are and where you are in life or what you're doing or how old you are, there's somebody that looks up to you. And chances are there's multiple. And chances are it's probably 10 times as many people as you think. And
Yep.
they're always watching. And when you start with yourself in everything,
Yep.
people see it and then it inspires them and
Yep.
they want to be better and they want to raise the standard. And when you do that and you influence your circle, and then
It's contagious.
yes, and that is how we change culture and how society wins. And it's striving for excellence in everything. And obviously we all fall short in a lot of things, but
Yeah,
whether it's business or your health or it's
wake up every day trying to do 1% better, try to be 1% better. It's like I said earlier, guys. Men, women, everyone out there listening, there's only two things you really own in life. It's your name and time. One of them we can control. The other one we can't inventory. We don't know how much of it we have.
Yeah.
So do what's right for your name with the time we have. That's all we got. It don't matter if you come from nothing, if you come from a whole heap. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Legacy's a real thing, man. And making sure you've got a good name. That's what people remember. So
and actually, this doesn't have anything to do with guns, but you said that and it triggered. So I had a conversation. This has probably been a year or two ago. You don't have kids. I don't have kids. And which, by the way, if you meet people that don't have kids, don't ask 18 million fucking questions. It's none of your business. And chances are they have a pretty good reason of why they did it.
Yeah.
But I had a conversation and it blew this guy's mind that I didn't want to have kids and that we weren't having kids. And he was like, dude, well, what about your legacy? And it opened my eyes a lot because your name isn't your legacy. The spelling of your name, the last name that you pass on to your kids that isn't your legacy. It's who you are and what you turn them into.
Yeah.
And
they don't have to be your kids for you to make an impression on people. That's the thing.
Well, and you don't, and it's not necessarily just kids that creates a legacy. It's your relationships, it's your business or whatever the case may be. And
just to be clear, we both love children.
Yeah.
Like genuinely. And
my niece is my favorite person on the face of the planet behind my wife.
Yeah. It's just you guys are a lot like Ashley and I.
Yeah.
We've had long relationships. We've had very good amazing relationships. And it just didn't happen. It's not that we didn't have complications. There wasn't any of that. It's just that's the path we chose. And that's the interesting thing you bring that up because I've had the 50 questions thing.
Right.
And the way I combat that, and I tell people this, publicly on this platform, it simply was our choice. And the reality is there is no reason and no one has the right to judge anyone else based on that. And I've had some hard conversations with some people about that. But the reality is, man, your legacy is who who Mike Burdis is.
Yeah.
Who Dan Hereid is. That's your legacy. And you can make just huge impressions on people younger than you, the same age as you, older than you. It's all about who you are. Now, yes, some of that can be instilled in your children and they can carry a name forward.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
And they're a piece of a legacy, but that's not, I get the same thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, and my thing is, it was the same with us. We decided not to have kids. Mm-hmm. And whether you agree with it or not, it's your own thing. But where I tell people, I'm not saying don't ask people questions, but
just be respectful about it.
where it's an issues. I mean, we have friends, and I'm sure you do too, that they would give their life to be able to have kids and can't.
Yeah.
And
I've had some of those hard conversations too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
anyways,
and I'll tell you from my shoes, the way I handle it is the ultimate amount of support. It's not a negative. If they come at it from a negative connotation, it's simply let them know that you love them and you understand. It's just support.
Yeah.
Because it's your name. Being the bigger person. And I've had to work on a lot of things on myself, man. A good friend of mine, when I started this, said, look, I believe in you. You're going to do something big, but I will tell you, you have to get out of your way. And it's interesting because I preach that, and I've always known that, but being told in that manner, number one, being told that someone foresees that's a big deal. That's a support thing. And that was a huge deal for me to hear that. The second part of it is the understanding that that's everyone's worst enemy is himself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like anything. It's working out. It's got to get up that mountain. It's, got to hit that target. Got to hit this milestone. Got to do this. Got to do that. It always is you versus your brain.
Yeah, but I listen to Andy Frisell all the time, and I mean, it's that inner bitch voice.
Yep, it's the inner bitch voice,
and
it's true. It's true. I mean, I'm gonna throw a name out there, but look it up. David Goggins, man. Look at the first race that dude did, and look what he did to his body. And you want to tell me that I don't have time to do this? I can't do this.
So
please,
I don't have the desire for the distances that he does.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Andy Frisell is really who kind of opened my eyes into questioning everything and gathering all the information and making anyways. And through him, David Goggins has been on the show, and then started following him and watching some stuff. And I knew he'd had a story. I knew he had transformation and some things, but I hadn't gotten that far. And I found this reel that he put out, and he used to be like 315, 320 pounds.
He was a big dude.
And when I heard those words come out of my jaw dropped. I mean, obviously everyone now knows what he looks like and who he is, but I saw myself in it, because when growing up through high school, I was offensive lineman, defensive lineman. I was a power lifter. I was the big guy. I was the strong guy. And I was trying to be as big as I could. I had to be. But then even when I got out of it, that big guy mentality it was there, and I hated running, and it was always in my head. I'm not a runner. I'm too big. I'm too fat. I'm too tall. Whatever it is. And then when I was like, dude, this fat piece of shit turned into,
and he means no disrespect by that. He's just saying that
David Goggins would kick my ass. But I'm sure he would say the same thing, but he turned what he would probably call a fat, miserable human being into an absolute machine. And it changed the way I looked at things.
Exactly what I'm saying. Legacy.
Yes.
David Goggins has no idea that he motivated you.
Right.
He doesn't know that.
Right.
I mean, he might now if he listens to this, but that's my point.
Right.
Right. And that's why, it's interesting when those closest to you have those hard conversations with you. That's the other thing I want to touch on, that are like, it's good to influence people, but you also need to understand you need to be influenced as well. And I don't mean talked into things, but God gave you 2 eyes and 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of talking a lot. I mean, hell, I can sit on this podcast. We can talk for 18 hours, fall asleep and wake up and do it again. But the reality is that there's a lot of truth in that. And that's, there's a lot of things that through this business that I'm growing as a human too, growing as a man, still maturing more and more every day, and just trying to be a better version of myself than I was the day prior.
Yeah.
And relationships are important. Doing right by your name, doing right by your loved ones, and it's super important, man. It's super important. But I'm excited to get my story out there, kind of my journey, share that with everybody. I'm an open book about most things. Don't send me a message asking what cool is coming up, but I promise you guys will like it. But yeah, I will. I guess I can talk a little bit, and there's some other stuff on your list you want to get to. But on the stuff that I'm doing, I can say this. There's going to be some interesting materials that I marry into your modern day long range precision rifle, hunting rifle. There's some interesting things that are I think people are going to like it. It's not going to be for everybody,
right? But
for the people it's for, they're going to dig it.
Yeah, and I can't freaking wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. You want to talk about the Oklahoma trip? We'll cover this one, and we can call it. But
by the way, You're not allowed to buy tents anymore.
I think I shouldn't be allowed to make a lot of decisions that I made.
Yeah, you're definitely not in charge of buying tents anymore. That's for damn sure.
Me and Dan went hunting, whitetail hunting in Oklahoma last year. And,
damn survival mission.
Yeah, and it was kind of it was a family piece of property that was getting sold. It was the last chance he was going to get to hunt on it. I brought Dan on. We went and spent 3 or 4 days, and it was miserably cold. It was a place that I had only hunted like 1 or 2 other times. I hadn't figured it out. So then we weren't finding animals. We're finding everything. I mean, the signs were.
Well, we saw some animals that first night we were there. We saw a
okay, yeah,
not mature 10,
but yeah.
But I mean, he was a very nice 2.5-year-old deer.
Yeah,
very nice. He's gonna be a really nice deer at 4.5 and 5.5.
Yeah.
Really interesting ground. I honestly was a little upset that he had already sold it to somebody, because I'm like, why did we need to figure this out? But we did some on foot fact finding and found out where bedding areas were. And yeah, so to back up on the cold thing, I do want to touch on that because Mike's going to catch a little shit because I know why he's avoiding it. All right, so he's like, I got the tent. I bring a little 17-inch, Blackstone small propane, which I know this and I know better. Those little small propane containers, when it gets cold, it just is what it is. That still worked. We ate good. That is one thing I'll say. We ate real good. That Blackstone was working. So Mike buys a 2-person tent. Yeah, it fits Mike in about 2 legs.
Yeah, it was like a $50 Academy special.
Yeah, and then he brings a cot, which takes a square tent and turns it into a damn trapezoid. Anywho, we're sitting in there, and it wasn't that it was cold.
Yeah, it got down to like 32, 33.
It was right at freezing or just under. I think actually it was in the high 20s while we were asleep or trying to sleep. The wind was pretty nuts at night. The worst thing we fought, so I had 2 sleeping bags. He's in a cot. So what I did is picture yourself, you cocoon yourself in the first bag. And I'm talking, you put yourself in it, you roll yourself up. I reached my hand through that bag, grabbed the next one, twirled it, pulled it in the next one. So you think like brown paper sack lunch, twist up the top, but push it inside. So I essentially made myself a burrito. Well, because I'm just trying to stay warm at this point. We slept in our clothes, which that doesn't bother me to be cold. The funny part, I'll tell too much here. Mike and I both snore, right? So we're both wearing foamies just so we can get some sleep because we sound like 2 grizzly bears hibernating next to each other. But from the condensation of our breath, the top of my sleeping bag for above my head down to about, below my chin. So, I don't know, 10, 12 inches or so. My burrito bag was completely frozen when I woke up. And, man, I'll tell you what the smartest decision I made that first morning was
the remote start on
that truck. And remote start it until it died. Remote started again. So it's been running about 15 minutes and the heat was on full tilt boogie. And we jumped in there and we're just thawing out because we're dressed. We slept in all our clothes.
Yeah, I mean, I slept in like five layers on top.
Yeah. And honestly, once you're asleep, it wasn't bad. But I still remember that second morning, we're looking at each other like, are we really going to do this shit? Like, it'd just be nice just to take a nap in this truck because it's real warm. But we went out. That first sit actually that was the morning sit. That was fun when I got, when I was thinking about shooting that porcupine. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, awesome trip, awesome piece of ground, found the bedding area, and we decided to roll around to the other side of the property. And decision making when hunting is very important, and it came in like I made the right decision, even though I don't like the decision.
Right.
I don't like that it had to be that decision. So we decided to sit in 2 different areas. We found a lot of sign. We could kind of tell what was going on. And you had deer come in.
No.
You didn't have any deer come in at that location?
No. There were 2 or 3 that came by like 400 or 500 yards, but nothing came down the road that we were expecting.
Yeah. So on my side, I'm sitting in an open field against a fence line to a dirt road, and then the other side state property, which you can hunt on, just no rifles. And I'm sitting there and overwatching this pond. I've got thick trees, and there was sign and shit, like literally all over the place. All of a sudden, I hear this crash bang, and I'm on a little pop out, not a blind. I'm just on a little pop out, fabric textile seat, little aluminum frame, and I'm sitting next to a mesquite tree or whatever the hell it was, a little Charlie Brown tree.
Yeah.
And I hear all this crashing and banging. So I just look to my left, and these 3 does come busting out like they're on a mission. And then all of a sudden, the 4th one comes out. The 4th one wasn't a doe, and he had a Christmas tree on his head. And I was just like, shit. So in one motion, so the rifle's pointed, oriented towards the pond. They're coming out from the 9 o'clock to the left. I pick up bag, tack plate, tripod, rifle, all in one. One just smooth motion, set it down, get on the gun, lock the bolt down, rounds in the pipe, fingers approaching the trigger, and I let out a grunt. At this point, he is off the rear far hip of the far doe, and the damn doe stops, and he doesn't. And he takes one hard turn. I'm on him. He takes one bound, and then his front legs are in the air, and he's crossing that fence that goes to state property. Now, I could have pulled that shot. I am confident I would have hit him. The reason I didn't do it is I wasn't going to cross state ground land where it's posted no rifle hunting.
Yeah, and we had watched some other shady. We didn't want to be in there.
Yeah, no, there's a guy that rolled by, and the funny thing, he didn't even see me. He drove 12 feet from me. Didn't even see me sitting in the field. I sat there and watched him. He was 45 yards from me for 15 minutes. He runs in there with a collar, a rifle, all kinds of other stuff, makes a bunch of racket. And he's also across the road when this happens. It's another reason why decision-making is important. What if I pulled that shot and it happened to hit him and I missed that deer? So there's some things that went on. But that trip, the one thing I got out of that trip is, and you learn from me and I learned from you, is if I'm not giving up, you're not giving up.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, it was one of those deals. Like, I mean, honestly, looking back, it wasn't anything. That trip wasn't anything special, and neither of us shot anything, and frankly, didn't even see all that much. But that was one of the funnest hunting trips I've ever been on.
Oh, remember, misery loves company. There is that part of it.
Yeah, but yeah, so the inside of his sleeping bag was freezing. I didn't have a second bag, and so I was just pulling the top over and try, and I'd fall asleep and it'd come over, and then my breath was hitting the tent like 6 inches above me
and dripping all over the damn place.
Yes, and every time one of us would bump it, we would just get ice. It was just, but but man, it was just fun. Like, sitting around having talks, and
yeah, man, it's good to do that. I guess the moral of the story is on that deal is we honestly both went into it hoping for the best, but not expecting a whole lot, because you can't go to ground that you haven't scouted and done a bunch of homework on and expect to just do well, right? But it was an experience deal, and just going in to understand, to have a good time. But no, it was a great moral of that also is, like, don't pass up opportunities to go do fun shit with your friends, even if it is freezing your ass off in a tent in the middle of nowhere. You got to find the positive in it.
Yeah.
It could have been real bad. We could have bitched and sat there and argued and not been happy, but we found the brightest light we could in the whole deal. But it was a damn good time, man. I want to get back to that part of Oklahoma, but I want to do it when it's a little warmer and do it with the collar. And I'm a coyote hunting junkie. That's like and I don't do a lot of it anymore, and it sucks. But I want to get back to that.
Yeah, I'm working on that, or we can hopefully do that more.
Yeah, that'd be a blast.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it was fun, and just
we need to get you to Africa. That's what we need to do.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's just
we got to spend some time with the I call them my family from halfway around the world. I've been there a couple times. Spent some time with the Forest's Outfitters. Love those guys to death, man. And they've got a 5-star operation, and
yeah, we got to hang out with them all weekend. It was a good time.
Yeah. And I mean, it's literally 2 a.m. here, guys, and we've powered through DSC, and it was a good show. Wasn't as crazy busy. I do want to talk about one thing while we're here, though, and plug a company that
yes,
that we found interesting. I'll grab it real quick.
So I saw one. So Ken Wheeler had one of these at a match, and I saw it, and I fell in love with it, and then I couldn't remember the name, and then we ran into him at DSC. So it's Backlands, and it's Backlanz. They're out of New Zealand, and they make bipods. This would be a great, for those of you that are on audio, this would be a great time for switching over to YouTube. So it's carbon fiber and titanium.
It's very, very nice stuff.
Those that know us know that we both love the MDT Skypods, and we both have multiples of them, and I think they're awesome. Where I love this one is it is a similar concept, and they have multiple different models. But the Alpine one that we've got here, you've got your standard leg angles that you can move for. I think it's a four positions, but then
so it displays all the way out to here, low position. And obviously they come in two different leg configurations, right?
Yeah.
You've got the twist lock like a tripod is, and then you have the spring loaded legs, which is what these are. And they're pretty damn strong, man. When you get some weight on here, they're pretty strong.
Sorry. I love this feature for those that maybe haven't used a SkyPod or used one of these backlinks, but being able to take it from this super wide footprint to being able to bring them in, and the standard leg movement of a bipod, the adjustability is just insane. Yeah. And this quick deploy leg is just so nice.
This is the other cool thing too that I like about these, and there's another bipod on the market that does this, but I'm not going to say I see problems with it. I just don't see a lot of contact area here. They're rubber feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not going to slide. The cool thing is it's simply a cap, and these come off, and I didn't ask, but I'm pretty sure those are titanium spikes that it covers.
I think so.
I'm almost positive they are. But that's a pretty cool feature that you can go from and this is a pretty hard rubber cap. You're not going to push through it.
Right.
And so you've got rubber and spike, just, snap of a finger fast.
Yeah, and it's cool. And then, and like you said, there's the quick deploy model. And then if you just absolutely have to save weight, you can also buy the carbon fiber legs separate. I believe they're about $50. You can swap those out and switch it to the twist lock, and it's about I think it's like 1.75 ounces that it saves switching to the twist lock with the carbon legs.
Yeah. All in, guys. Just by the way, I've weighed this on a reliable scale. I think on their website it says 8.5 pounds. This one I weighed it's 8.31. Or I'm sorry, pounds.
Yeah, 8.3 ounces with all of the adjustability, and then you go to the carbon legs, you're about I think it's just under 7, and then they have ARCA options and Picatinny options.
And this is the typical 17S pattern too, by the way.
Yeah,
2 bolts.
It's just the lightest version, I think, was like 4.5 ounces.
Yeah, it's light.
I mean, stupid light.
And the cool thing about this situation, so this is a very small company out of New Zealand. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. It's a husband and wife team, which is so awesome.
And we got to talk with them.
They're awesome people. They brought their kids stateside over here for the show. Traveled over here for holiday.
Yeah.
Just if you guys are looking for a really solid lightweight bipod, check them out, man. You're supporting a small business that's trying to make it in a crazy world, like I am, like Mike is.
Yeah. And we thoroughly enjoy them. We're both set up as dealers now.
Yep.
So honestly,
and this isn't a paid deal, by the way. This one was bought with the old Raven Rifles checkbook.
right. And I mean, they're cool. I think they're going to do very, very, very well. Just their primary business is in New Zealand, and so we're really working to try and support them and get this stuff over more here in the States. But man, it's
a good product too, man. It's well thought out. It's well built. We haven't put it through the paces. I had it at the show. I beat on it a little bit at the show. A lot of people handled it at the show because I had it on one of my rifles in a booth. And when's your bear hunt?
End of September.
Okay.
I'm going to be taking one of these on the hunt.
Oh, you're going to take this one on the hunt.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let you take this one on the hunt because that's the other thing, guys. I'd love for you to be able to jump on their site and buy one right this second to get it. When they launched it, it went very, very well. And they're a little backed up on production for the Alpine model right now. From what I can tell, I didn't check the other ones.
Right.
But I think you can do notifications on their website. And it's backlands.co.nz.
Okay.
So it's not a .com.
Yeah, I'll get the website and their Instagram and stuff put up.
But check them out. They're super good people. Small company, and if you're looking for something like this, go support them.
Yeah. It was a good find. I mean, and so like even this this tension lever, it's skeletonized, and like it feels like wire and it's titanium, and we asked the guy, we're like, dude, I mean, is this?
Yeah, I asked him flat out. I was like, how strong is this?
And it looks like I could take my thumb and snap it. No. And he had it on a gun, flipped it over, and And like, I mean,
and put his body weight on it to the point where it left a real nice impression on his palm.
The veins were like popping out. I mean, it
well, and the interesting thing, it was that one he did it with.
Yeah.
And I looked at it after he was done. I was looking at him like, that thing is dead nuts straight still. I was actually shocked because that's the first thing we were both, looking through the same lens on that deal. That looks like a weak link. I'm shocked. I mean, titanium stout stuff, but
yeah, they did good, and it was just, it's something that we wanted to put out there. I think it's a cool product. Like you said, we haven't run it through its paces yet, but I mean, I kind of tried to break it a little bit at the show. So,
gee, thanks. And then I ended up buying it.
Yes, I mean, it didn't. So, but anyways, check them out, and I think it'll be pretty cool. But guys, check out Dan, check out Raven Rifles. It's at Raven Rifles on Instagram, ravenrifles.com.
Yep.
So these packages, it's so well thought out, and I'm excited for the stuff that's going to come out later.
And guys, prices aren't online. There's not a buy now button. That's another thing I didn't even cover, and I'll cover that right before we wrap this up. I want you to call me or send me an email. Like I said, I'm a relationship guy. I want to talk to you. I want to know. It's not one of those like that's the price of admission type deal. I just want to build a relationship with everybody who does business with us. That's important to me, and just know my wife's a part of Raven Rifles as well. On the Cerakote side, there's some stuff that in anything you love and you're passionate about, there's always one thing that's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I do have one of those in the process, and she loves it, which is kind of cool. We spend a lot of time in the shop. My wife's in a different industry. Bless her heart. She's in a tough industry, and it's really cool. So I hope you guys, get some of our stuff in your hands. I hope you love it. I hope you support us. Just know that we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of love into what we do. But every piece we put out is also unique. The pattern, I physically drew the pattern. And the other thing we do is we do a lot of hand cutting, like a lot of hand stenciling. So if you tell me and say, hey, you have to build two that are identical. I mean, I like a challenge, so I'm going to accept it. But the chances of getting them perfect are going to be pretty slim. Like it's because they are so incredibly unique. But talk about pricing on that thing. Guys, I've been around this industry for a while. I know I did a lot of research on stuff. I don't think you'll find a better bang for the buck when you get into the weeds with what this is. There's $7,000 shipped to your door, and that's rifle, case, cleaning system, toolkit, 50 rounds of ammo coming from Mike, and there's a couple other goodies in there that I'm not going to tell you about, so you got to get one to get that stuff. But it's a pretty cool package, and I think there's a lot of bang for the buck in that deal.
Yep. But guys, thank y'all for listening.
Yeah.
Man, thank you so much.
Absolutely, man.
I had a blast with you this weekend.
Yeah, I did too. Now it's time to get some shut eye.
Yeah, we got to be at the range early in.
Yeah, another day.
Yeah, but man, keep tuning in. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool guests coming up. I'm really excited. Obviously, all the show sponsors are going to be coming on. I'm really excited for you to get to meet more of the people behind all the stuff that is supporting the show, and some fun topics and some fun ideas coming up that I'm stupid stoked about.
It's going to be a good time.
Guys, I love you guys. Thank y'all so much. I'll see you on the next one.
Take care.